Yeah. Yeah. Hold up, it ain't easy breaking away or being a great. They slamming the door, I'm jumping the gate. Cause a starving stomach like being punched in the face. And an instrumental was the last time that I ate. Food from all of the bass. My ace spoon going, big son told me about the game. 20 years later, know my name. King, crown me, lounge in the back of the spot. Pay homage to an underground peasant, climb to the top. Funny style on elevators could never fade us. I peep data stain anytime they congratulate us. Goggles is worn and bottles is popping. I'm Deion Sanders on haters, this ice bucket dropping over their head with it. Extra the cred with it. You either fight or flight, I ain't one for the ledge living. I do it for the one that died but fed millions. With soul food flowed and stocked my bad kitchen. I'm liberated. I drew a play that they ain't illustrated. I make a move, they gladly imitate it. I ain't flattered, I'm a dragon to your paper castle. The alpha and omega, promise it ain't nothing now. A new beginning. My catalog like James Earl Jones, the ever living. Imagine if I did make beats that's more for killing. Imagine if you come from the south out my city. You probably wouldn't make it, oh yeah, really. I go extra to be.
It is a pretty hot late summer afternoon here in the South Bay as EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
Let's go.
Play action. It's Herbert. And a quick throw here that's complete. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all, and you know what else you do? You make your defense mad. Yeah. They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Hurts. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
There they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
I'm not sure it made it. Play, but one thing to keep in mind, here in the early part of the year during a day game, the sun does play a factor on deep balls.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. They snap it to Herbert. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Niners are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He's got a man, complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
You get a rookie tight end who can run like this, it just gives this offense a different dimension than they've had. It's going to be fun to watch his development and how this offense expands as this season moves along.
First down, here's Mitchell. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 35 on 2nd down. Hurts. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Duvernay. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Right back to Duvernay. That's complete. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Here's Hurts to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
The kick by Gold is good. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the plague did on the last one.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And this one is incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Oh, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Again, Herbert. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Hurts. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now this throw caught left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. 19. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that nearly intercepted. Oh, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's 2nd down. The Niners had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. They've got his man complete. Touchdown, 49ers. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that will bring up 3rd and 1.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Herbert off the bootleg. He's going to go for a big play downfield. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Throwing is Hurts. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowski to punt the football. Returnable here from the 38. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. On 1st and 10, Herbert.
finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Herbert now. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Goodwin. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Herbert operating from the red zone. Now loose football. The ball comes out, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed it in the huddle. Hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Returning from his end zone is Ray McLeod. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
7 Pirates, trap 60, trap 60.
They're going to look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Mitchell. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with great starting field position and one timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. Deep ball for Goodwin. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from adding another catch to his big start.
He's going to try and go deep again. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Now the Niners get there and bring him down. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game. And down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth. Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Hurts throw into the hands of McLaurin. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode.
And shutting him off, now open field. Past the 20. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Yeah, boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Back to the ground here, Mitchell. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. On the draw, here's Mitchell. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's got a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And he finds McLaurin, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Hey, check that.
And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Jalen Hurts, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the 49ers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he takes this across the 15 to the 17.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here we go on fourth. Herbert. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. They'll start by running the option to the right. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
On 2nd and 11 now. Hurts toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. They'll set up to throw. Flushed out right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
He's had a very nice day throwing the football, and I think on this play, he's just trying to buy some time so he can make another big throw downfield. Unfortunately, couldn't connect on that one.
The kick by Gold is good.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
We'll see a return here from the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Sliding out of the pocket toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Herbert. He finds his man Johnson. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the 49ers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go, here we go.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, 49ers. Elijah Mitchell, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on him.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold onto the football while being jostled?
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run over center with Mitchell. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way, and plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. The kick by Gould is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And the ball is knocked out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
129 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the 49ers, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll be back home next.